Warning, this video contains spoilers for Star Trek Discovery Season 1 and Star Trek Discovery Season 2. Star Trek Discovery Season 2, Episode 5, Saints of Imperfection. Damn, where do I begin? My expectations for this episode, based off of the preview, were pretty low. I honestly figured it to be a boilerplate script about saving Tilly, the ship being in danger, and stopping some kind of threat in the mycelial network. But I was pretty wrong. Yes, all of those elements were in there, but this episode just blew my mind in a lot of ways. This was not only good television, but it was pretty decent Star Trek as well. Let's get right into it. The opening sequence chasing Spock's shuttle was just the right amount of suspense and drama. Nothing over the top, and I like how Pike came up with a solution to stop the shuttle that made sense in universe. This sequence with Burnham pointing the phaser at Georgiou was really nice. Good acting on the part of Sonequa Martin Green here, as she really conveyed a lot of her emotions without saying a word.
It's an invigorating ride.
The fun banter here and flirting with Pike was lighthearted and enjoyable. I think the Section 31 Georgiou is really starting to settle in nicely into the series. The verbal sparring between Pike and his old friend Leland was a nice way to set up not only the relationship between these two characters, but also set the tone for the entire Discovery crew's feelings about Section 31 operating so close to them. This conversation between Section 31 Georgiou and Burnham surprisingly didn't come off as over-the-top or cringy, but actually very emotional, with a lot going on. Great work by both actresses here. I'd love to see Stamets back at work. I missed him doing a lot of his space magic science. I really thought this whole plotline with Tilly being inside the network was going to be lame, and figuring in some kind of monster of the week. But I was seriously surprised by not only the payoff to this subplot, but also Tilly's acting being a huge improvement over the past few episodes. Damn! This man is a seasoned captain. He not only reads Burnham well, but also calls her on her bullshit of hiding things from him. It's so nice to see someone who cares about the truth and taking care of his crew. I also wrongly assumed Tyler back on the Discovery was going to be this big high school drama setup, but it wasn't. Burnham and him shared a nice moment, and even though Stamets came face to face with the murder of his husband, he keeps his cool, focuses on the mission. Truly an amazing set of sequences here, and fantastic character development overall. Just a quick theory here, but the voice of this android kinda sounds like the voice from the 1,000-year-old computer on Discovery we encountered during the short trek Calypso. So I'm gonna say she fuses with a ship at some point in the future. Another fantastic speech with what is becoming one of my favorite Starfleet captains. I really love this shot, the effects and how it worked with all the sound effects added in there. It was just really awesome.
Are you ready to execute this very bold, deeply insane plan of yours?
Execute might not have been my choice of words, but
I really like how they made the jump into the mycelial network by holding hands. It really shows a bond growing between this crew in a lot of ways. This was a simple thing that they didn't necessarily have to do, but I thought was a nice touch.
Damn it, where is everybody?
Maybe they died trying to save you.
Hey, thanks for that.
Okay, so when this scene was unfolding, I was swimming with ideas about who or what was attacking the network. My thoughts went to a leftover Mira Lorca, to different types of tardigrades, or something completely unknown. I honestly never expected it to be Culber. He is such a good person that the precursor for him attacking and killing things really threw me for a loop. Every scene between Culber and Stamets was beyond emotional for me. The relationship was something that worked really well in Season 1, one of the few things that worked really well in Season 1, so the emotional weight here really carried over into these scenes. Tyler calling for help from the Section 31 ship was an awesome sequence as well, that featured some future technology we commonly see in future iterations of Star Trek, including the comm badges from TNG. And I really like the pissing contest Pike got into with his old friend Leland and putting Tyler in his place. This man runs a tight ship. I'm not gonna lie, when Culber put his hand through the network pane and his hand disappeared, I almost turned off the episode. The sadness on both the faces of Stamets and Culber realizing that he couldn't leave was just a lot. Really great acting by both men here, truly fantastic. A few other things I want to know. Georgiou is still a mystery to me. At some points, she's ready to kill Burnham, and yet she was responsible for ensuring she could make it out of the network with her and her friends. I'm really interested to see how their relationship continues in the future. Pike ordering Tyler to stay on the bridge towards the end of the episode was pretty awesome. He's not only keeping a punk like him in check, but also looking out for his crew. He knows something is up between Michael and him, and is fully aware of his relationship to Culber and Stamets. This guy's a good captain. While Culber was eventually saved from the network through space science magic, it was the same magic that was set up at the beginning of the episode. So it was a nice connecting point, not to just have some Deus Ex Machina effect here. I did really think for a moment Culber was going to die for real. And I was kind of getting choked up. Seeing him die again and their relationship sacrifice again was an emotional arc I wasn't prepared to see on this show. The final meeting with Admiral Cornwall, Pike, and Leland was another great example of this show not really into keeping secrets anymore. It's refreshing to see the fact that Section 31 and Discovery are both working to find Spock and understand the red bursts, and investigate the new sighting of a temporal signature detected near one of the berths. I did find it weird that Pike doesn't know that Empress Georgiou is a thing, and there were times during the episode where the characters were spending too much time talking as opposed to trying to get back out of the mycelial network. It definitely wasn't so bad, but because the ticking clock was so well impressed upon us with all the sequences cutting back to the Discovery, I find myself getting frustrated with everyone sitting there talking about their feelings at times. But ultimately, that might just be a nitpick on my part. My final thoughts are this. Discovery isn't pulling any punches anymore. This episode has outdone all the previous episodes yet again. I highly recommend people not watching this show to give Season 2 a chance. This was an amazingly created episode of Star Trek and of television. And while the trailer for next week's episode seems like another boilerplate script, I look forward to my expectations being shattered. Anyways, what did you guys and gals think of this episode? Sound off down below, and I'll catch all of you guys and gals next time. Live long and prosper, my Trekkies!